This is just my personal perspective, and I'm just really beginning to learn, actually. But one thing I personally felt about the difference between Korean hip hop and American hip hop is that, I mean, there are a lot of different differences because America or the States in general, I think, has a more understanding and appreciation and sort of tolerance for diversity and the individuality of people. Whereas Korea, I personally felt like there is a more singular model of success or the way you should be. And that also permeates through art in some ways, I feel. So in Korea, as some of you might know, there's an audition program called Show Me the Money. And I think while Show Me the Money has been an important platform in really taking hip hop to the general audience and the bigger market, there are obviously side effects to it, right? So for example, I feel like it limits the diversity of hip hop in a way, and it kind of makes people think, oh, this is hip hop and this is not hip hop. That's not always the case, but so going back, I think Korean hip hop, I think there's more pressure about what is hip hop and what is not. So, but that being said, I think just as much as there are, sort of limiting perspectives and judgments about what hip hop should be and what is hip hop and what is not, I think there's just as much effort, if not greater effort, among Korean hip hop artists to really break that barrier and perspectives and just create new hip hop. I think the hard part for me personally was because I lived in Canada and the States for about 16 years. I didn't have many friends in Korea, and I didn't have many connections with people in the music industry to begin with, because the studies and the work I've done before had nothing to do with music. So the hardest part was really finding friends that make music and really being able to connect with them. On the other hand, I think one of the best parts of making music in Korea is that once you sort of get to that level of really appreciating hip hop and taking your craft seriously, when you meet different rappers, and even if they rap, like trap or boom bap or a genre that's totally different from you, I personally felt that there is that respect among the community. So, for example, like one of the worries I had was that because I tend to focus on lyricism and like boom bap music, I was really worried and scared of how like these trappers might think about me, right? But once I got to know them, they really like appreciated my music, and I did the same for them. And it was kind of easy to connect with them, surprisingly. I think the biggest sort of challenge or something I initially found annoying but began to understand about working in Korea or being a part of a community in Korea is that there is more of this sense of hierarchy, and it's really important for you to develop more awareness of the power dynamics that exist among different members of different age and different classes in one organization. For example, in America, comparatively speaking, I think there is more of an understanding to voice your opinion and provide feedback, for example, regardless of age. But in Korea, there is more of that culture, of there's 선배 and there's 후배, and there's also different respect you should have for different people in the organization. So I'm not saying, hey, like you should go and just say whatever you want. I think it's important to respect those cultural boundaries and differences, because that is something very special and important to the Korean culture and Korean identity. So instead of being annoyed at it like I have, or questioning it too much in a negative way, I think it's important to just sort of try to understand and really ask your mentors, like how should I navigate this power dynamic, and just sort of being able to develop trust throughout the process and just